Hi class. Sorry about losing the internet yesterday. My sister had to reset the router, and after our class was over, the internet was working again. I wanted to go through the research prompt real quickly and then also give you some research tips if you're still struggling to find sources. And so I already went over the deadline. So by the end of this week, make sure you complete journal entry 6 and find those 3 sources. And again, I'll give you some tips about finding sources. Next week, by class time, I need you to have most of your presentation already done. So that way, after class, after we give you some feedback, you'll need to have it uploaded to the Voicethread. So by Friday anytime. So that way you guys have all of Saturday and Sunday to do the comments and replies. And then the final version of everything will be 10/25/20. And so as we talked about, the research comes from your interest from the book, so something that you wanted to know more about. So as I used as an example before, it's common in graduate school for professors to send their students out to do research for them. So in a way, it's kind of like a version of that. We all read this book together, and allowing you guys to find some more research, more recent research about other forms of expression, or more recent research about expressive writing. And with this project, by the end of it, one should be able to listen to your summary and synthesis of the sources and learn something new and interesting about this form of expression as a form of therapy to dealing with stress, trauma, conflict, and we understand its value and importance. And then we can also hear from the conversation going on through the comments and replies how these different research topics connect to each other and what you guys are learning from each other. And so as I talked about before, you will be creating these presentations, and then you can upload to Voicethread either a PDF of that if you do it in Google Slides especially, or you can go ahead and just do it on PowerPoint. And we will need to see some kind of demo. So here on the right, you see my idea of a demo, which are images. And you could also do a YouTube clip. And if you want to do a YouTube clip, you will have to email me that clip so that way I can add it. Unfortunately, Voicethread won't let you add the YouTube clips. And then and make sure you include a slide that talks about its significance. To accommodate those with social anxiety disorder, there is the option instead of the narration to do a 1,100-word research paper. So it would be more of your standard research paper with an introduction and a discussion of these 3 sources, again, what you're learning from them, as well as the significance of this research. So it's the same format that you're following with the presentation, but you would just do it through words and sentences and paragraphs. And again, I would recommend people have either a loose script or some kind of outline, detailed outline, because it can be hard to sort of do ad lib a narration of a presentation. And so this list is in your journal entry. You can sort of see different ideas and what direction you want to go into. And again, I'll be reading your journal entries this week to give you some further feedback in terms of how you can focus and how you can find sources. And in terms of how these will be assessed, just using a standard 100-point scale. And for the citation, you can use APA or MLA, but you have to use Purdue OWL, so the link is available. And I will make this presentation, I believe it's in the resources folder already, but I will make it available in the schedule for next week. And so you can look through this more thoroughly. And then in terms of how to upload it to Voicethread, let me go ahead and walk you through that process really quickly. And so you will want to go to your individual Voicethread group. So I'm going to do that here. If you click on the research prompt slide, you will find this exact presentation there. So you can skip to the final slide. And here are the directions in terms of how to upload your own presentation. But I'll just do that for you real quickly. So you hit on the 2 squares, and then you hit the plus sign, and then you hit upload, and then you upload the actual file. Okay, so I'm just going to add like some image here. And if you accidentally upload something else, especially if you accidentally upload another PDF, it's going to show up like in multiple slides. you will need to delete it. And so be careful in terms of what you upload, because if that PDF has 20 pages, you're going to have to go 20 times where you take the slide and you have to dump it in the delete can. Okay, so be careful, because it is like really annoying. Unfortunately, Voicethread doesn't allow you to just do it all at once. You would have to go each individual slide. When you're finished uploading your presentation, you simply hit the 2 squares, and then you are ready to do your audio commentary, your narration. So to do that, so imagine this was my presentation, and this is the opening slide with my research question and name. I hit the plus sign, and now I can do my recording. And you would do it like a standard presentation in a classroom, and you would click the right click button here to then narrate through the different slides. And so this is going to be like a regular PowerPoint presentation with narration. As you can see what I'm doing here, it's recording everything that I'm saying. Okay, so let me give you a few research tips. Most of you have probably already used the library website. One advantage to the library website is that it can find for you articles already available in our library website. Now, a nice feature of the library is that you have these filters and you can narrow it by year. So again, if you're focusing on expressive writing and a particular type of trauma that was discussed in the book, you need to find something that was published after 2015, after 2016. If you are researching something not explored in the book, then just find something within the last 10 years. And then you can narrow it down to articles or book chapters, for instance. And so you can look through there. Another great feature of the library is that it has a subscription to Google Scholar. And the reason why this is important is that the regular Google Scholar that you would use through Google doesn't make available to you all of the research articles that you would want. And so if I type in expressive writing, and let's say, and depression, then you have far more results. And you can see here, view at IC Library, this article would not have been made available to you otherwise. And so because you went through the library's proxy, then you're able to get access to this article. And so then what you want to do is, once you go through the Google Scholar proxy, is you want to bookmark this. And then from then on, you can always easily just get to it by going through your bookmarks. So I have a Google folder with all my bookmarks, and one is Google Scholar. And it takes me quickly here, and it's already logged in. I don't have to re-log in. And then the nice thing about Google Scholar is that you can see a book like this, for instance, and you see Pennebaker, our textbook's author, also an author for this book. He is the scholar for everything about writing and trauma. And so anything that has him as a co-author is going to be a good source. And so you see something like this, it's been cited by 403 people. So then I can do is right click it, open it as a new tab, because I don't want to lose this main page. I want to be able to come back to this and see what else is there. I can open that as a new tab, click on this little box, search within, and then I can narrow it down to expressive writing and depression. So it takes it to 312, but then I can also focus perhaps on females. And then maybe I want to do people of color, perhaps. I can narrow it down further. And so by doing that, and by looking within these citations, I'm finding research that we're citing Pennebaker. Again, he's the scholar in this type of research. So anyone citing him is going to be writing about expressive writing and trauma, and they are focusing their topic. So this is a nice way to go about doing that. And then you could, swap out the words and try any other keywords. So let me say I want to just do adolescence and expressive writing and trauma. So it narrowed down just to that. And so it's all looking within that one source, and you can go and play around with the words. Again, we're just exploring within this one source and all of the 403 people that cited this particular article. And so this is a trick, a strategy to kind of help you narrow your search. So if you need any help with this strategy or need any help with Google Scholar, please email me and I'll be happy to give you some ideas.